Hello and welcome to Shredded Cels, episode 26. I am your host, Alex Schmitz, and with me here today is Jeremy Zajac.
Good evening.
Matt Lunn.
Hello.
Clara Heimberger.
Pokemon.
And Gretchen Snyder.
Hey.
Yes, in case you couldn't tell, Jeremy and Clara here were going on and on about Pokemon for about the past 20 minutes.
Nonsense.
Just talking about all their team strategies and which Pokemon should be good against this Pokemon and all this good stuff.
This
Alex,
is my life.
Yes.
Shut up. No one asked you for your opinion on the matter. Go back to being the host.
Okay, fine. Well, if you're listening to us for the first time, you'll be interested to hear that we are part of Tech Heads, which is part of AVW Productions, a media production organization here at Ohio University. We here at Tech Heads do all sorts of good stuff on video games, movies. We've got a blog. We've got a YouTube page. We do podcasts. But this here is the Shredded Cels podcast. We're an anime podcast. And we're here today to talk about our top 10 anime films of all time. We did one of these lists a few weeks ago on our top 10 favorite TV shows, and it was so much fun, we decided to do it for films.
Really now?
Indeed. But before, and we're good to talk about the animation we've watched since last time. But before we do that, I wanted to take a quick moment to read out some emails here. We've talked about Abby before on the podcast. She's our one fan who none of us know, who just discovered the podcast, and she's emailed us in the past. I got one from her a few days ago. It said, "Hello, I just finished listening to Shredded Cels episode 24, which was the top 10 TV shows one. And I wanted to say it was awesome. I really liked the list you guys came up with. I wish Oran High School Host Club could have made it, though." And then I emailed her back thanking her for listening, and I apologized since I was the one who was trying to get Oran High School Host Club off the list.
I love Orin.
Yep.
Get Code Geass on there instead.
And Mark.
And she emailed me back saying, "That's quite all right, I understand. Oh, I did end up watching all of Angel Beats before listening to the podcast about it. I have been wanting to watch it for some time, but haven't had enough motivation for it, and I've been busy with school. But I really enjoyed it. I liked the discussion you had about it, too. The Call Me Christ joke did get old, ha ha ha. The introductory music was some of the best I've heard. Yes. I've come to the conclusion that I need Hulu. Keep up the awesome work, Abby." So thank you, Abby, for emailing us.
All the hugs and kisses.
It's nice to know that someone listens to us out in the great beyond of the interwebs.
The interwebs.
Of the iTunes.
And just so you know, Matt, that's another person who likes Angel Beats, despite your opinions on that particular show.
I can whine and be crappy about it is all I want. I'm like Jeremy. I'm like Gigi here. You know, when he doesn't like something, he doesn't have to like it.
Wow, so you're saying Jeremy whines all the time?
Okay,
Is that what you're trying to imply here?
No, when Jeremy doesn't like something, he says, "I don't like this, I don't like this," the end.
I see.
I don't always have to have a logical reason for disliking something, you know.
Or a southern accent.
Southern accents.
Yeah, you just
I'd like to remind everyone that I am from Northeast Ohio, so I don't know why he's talking like that.
He just talks in accents whenever he's trying to be silly.
I do.
It's just something I've noticed.
It happens.
All right, but why don't we go on the animation we've watched since the last time you guys were on the podcast? Jeremy, how about you?
Well, in the past 2 weeks I haven't been here. I really haven't been watching too
What
much
about
anime.
Superman?
I've been rewatching Superman the Animated Series. I've been rewatching Justice League. And I gotta say, they hold up incredibly well. Especially Superman, which is, I believe it's actually getting on 17 years now, actually. Excuse me, not that old. Sorry, no. It's getting on, how old is it? Let's see, 96. Help me out here, brah.
96 would be...
16.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Batman the Animated Series. This year is 20, I believe.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Makes me feel old.
You are old.
I love how you both said that at the same time.
But no, I mean, the show still looks great. The music is spectacular. It's very entertaining. Which is more than I can say for most shows nowadays.
I'm trying to remember. I don't think I ever watched the Superman cartoon when it was
You've
on.
also said you've never watched Batman either, so your opinion
Hey, no,
hardly matters.
I didn't watch it when I was a kid just because I wasn't really aware of it, but I've watched it since, and it is really good, even to this day.
It still looks great, and that's the best part about it. It looks absolutely phenomenal.
Right. Anything else then? Just Superman and Justice League?
Oh, I also finally watched through Food Fight.
Yes, you've been telling us about that one. He wants to do that as our next bad movie podcast.
It's not
What is
anime, but it is atrocious.
And
In the best sort of way.
Is it like The Room?
Sort of, except that the big difference here is that unlike The Room, this movie had a budget. They stole the hard drives before it was finished, but they had a lot of big name voice actors at the time, such as Charlie Sheen, Christopher Lloyd, Hilary Duff was actually one of them too, believe it or not.
Charlie Sheen and Hilary Duff.
Oh yeah,
Sounds
we
great.
we need to watch this movie.
Interesting.
I'm concerned.
All right, Matt, what have you been watching?
Nothing much. It's been pretty busy. I mean, saw Pat Labor 2. Don't recommend it. If you've heard of it,
Yeah, I've actually. Well, I was looking on a lot of people's top 10 lists. You know,
Pat
for,
Labor 2 is there. I like the first Pat Labor film. It's okay. I watched the second one 2 nights ago. I'm just like, maybe it's because I've not seen the TV series. You know, maybe there's a disconnect. I don't know. I don't see why it's up there. There's so many people who say, "Oh, this is awesome," and I'm just like, no. This was bare. I was thinking about things I could do on the internet while watching this film, and it's like, I'm not really captivated by it.
Yes, and Matt and I had made a deal where I would watch one movie he wanted me to see.
I'm going to watch it, but I'm not going to watch some crappy YouTube happy dubs in the little corner, and it all be not even 480p. It's in 360p. That's just not
It didn't
acceptable.
look that bad.
It's still pretty bad. I want to see that animation with glory.
It is nicely animated, and the film I was watching was not so gloriously animated since it was from the 80s.
Hey, Space Adventure Cobra, it has a special place in my heart. It's from the 80s.
I can see why you like it, but it is, and it's a, I don't know, it's good, but it's not great. It's not anything that exceptional. I don't think.
I mean, I enjoyed it a lot more than I think some people did, but yeah, that's just me. Been watching more One Piece. Saw one episode of Psychopaths, so I'm on episode 2 and gotta get to 19 by next week. So
Oh, me too.
Yep. I'll talk
it's
about that
good. Don't
when
get
we
me
to
wrong.
it.
It's just I gotta sit down and find time and not get sick this weekend.
That would help.
So
Clara, what have you been watching?
Mostly I've been rewatching Naruto again with my friend Ethan because a new episode recently just came out. But not a lot I haven't been watching. I've been more obsessed with getting my Pokemon team ready for our battle this weekend.
What battle this weekend?
A couple of my friends and I have gotten into this battle-y thing where they all picked 3 types, and me coming in late, I had to choose from the leftovers, which only included a handful of things that people normally don't choose because of their obvious lack of awesome. But so I've been putting my team together from the leftover scraps. But I'm excited because I think I might actually stand a chance. I'm trying real hard, EV training for the first time in my life, which is a pain, but at the same time I found a nice little quick way to do so.
You're doomed.
I am doomed, but at least I tried real hard.
There you go. Well, we'll be rooting for you, Clara. Don't worry.
Aw, thanks.
We want you to win.
Oh boy.
Gretchen, what have you been watching?
Last night I started the first episode of Psychopaths.
Nice.
what'd you think
It
of it?
seemed very dark. I was
Oh,
not
it gets-
expecting that because I didn't know anything about it. I just went to Hulu, typed it in, started the first episode, and I was
Well, remember,
surprised.
it's written by the same guy who wrote Madoka Magica, and that's a series with cute visuals and a dark story. This is a story with a dark story and dark visuals to go with it.
Yeah, I started thinking of Death Note kind of because all the scenes just seem so dark, the colors and everything. But
Yeah.
it seems like it could be good.
I actually saw some people online complaining that it was too dark, like that they couldn't see the animation.
Yeah, at one point I was like, "Are they showing anything? It's just black."
I think that just has to deal with a lot of the video quality. Like if you had it in 1080p, you would see some small, finer details, but
That could be it. Anything else?
That's about it.
All right. Well, as for myself, I've actually been watching quite a bit recently because
I know you've been eating it up. You've been like, nom, nom, nom.
Yeah. Well, that's because this weekend I should have been editing my documentary. Instead, I decided I'm just gonna watch a bunch of anime because I didn't want to do that documentary. So I did that, and I also found a whole bunch of movies online because, like I said, I was researching and seeing what other people were saying were in their top 10s. I'm like, well, I haven't seen that, so I should give it a chance. So, as far as what I've been watching, I've rewatched some of the last episodes of Madoka Magica just because.
Why would you do that
not?
to yourself?
Because I love the last 3 episodes.
Masochist.
I suppose. I love seeing the story go dark there. That's the thing.
I suppose.
That's just me.
Alex masochist.
That's right. I watched the show Toradora, which is one our own Mark Goldsmith has been advocating for us to do for a while. All 25 episodes are available on Hulu in subbed form. I don't think there's a dub of it, which is a shame.
No, it is not a dub show.
It's a good show.
It's released by Nice America.
And it's like a romantic comedy sort of show, and it was actually really good. I laughed out loud several times, and I actually did get invested in the romance and the more serious moments that came down the line in the later episodes. So I was pleasantly surprised by that one. I'm also caught up on Psycho Pass. Just before I came here, I watched episode 18, which came out today. So I marathoned like the first 17 episodes in like 2 days. Really loving it. The villain in that show is fantastic, and the animation is great. You know, it's all good. I'm interested to see where it goes from here because it's only supposed to have 22 episodes, so there's only a few more until we finish it up. Then I started watching some movies. One I'd seen a lot about was Vampire Hunter D: Bloodlust.
What did you think of that? Not many people see that. That's an old classic back in the day.
No, Vampire Hunter D is a old classic. Vampire D: Bloodlust was only from 2000.
Yeah, but it's still considered one of those, why isn't this on DVD? Why isn't this in the market? You know, this would make money. It's vampires. It's something that could make money, yet the license to it is lost in the eternity of development.
Interesting. Yeah, I thought it was good. The action, I basically was thinking the action wasn't as good as something like Ninja Scroll or Sword of the Stranger, but the story was actually surprisingly compelling. It's like this vampire guy kidnaps this girl and they send out this half vampire, half human hunter guy to go get her back. Then it turns out that the girl actually willingly went with the vampire guy, and they're both legitimately in love with each other. And the vampire guy is trying to stop himself from biting her, you know, because he's like compulsed to do that, but he doesn't want to put that curse on her, you know. And so it sort of brings an interesting element of morality into the movie. So that was good. I also watched the film The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, which is directed by Mamoru Hosoda, the same guy who did Summer Wars. I really like that movie.
Girl Who Leapt Through Time?
Yeah. I know you don't like it as much, Matt, but I was thoroughly impressed with that film.
That third act is just... third act.
I don't get it. I didn't have a problem with the third act. It was fine. It was just there was a nice little twist, and she ends up solving her problems. It's not like it's a giant plot hole or, you know, it doesn't make sense. Everything made sense in the climax to me, so it works. What else here? Oh, Trust and Betrayal, the Rurouni Kenshin movie.
Oh, what did you think of that?
Is this what you're going to keep asking me?
Basically, because you're listing you finally have caught up with some of the things I love. So.
Yeah. I was a little confused why they called it Samurai X. Apparently that was just for the American release.
Well, that's the Samurai X is basically what it's semi-called in Japan, too. It's not called Rurouni Pasta Kenshin.
Macaroni Kenshin.
But from what I saw, it was called Rurouni Kenshin Trust and Betrayal in Japan. It was called Samurai X Trust and Betrayal in the U.S. So that would suggest the opposite.
Well, Rurouni is not officially translated from the Japanese version. That is the American spin on the title.
Okay, well, whatever. But I thought that one was good. It's very dark, and I already sort of knew the story because I've read that bit in the manga. I've actually read the entire Rurouni Kenshin manga. Quite love it. So it was a good movie. I will say the characters are a bit emotionally detached, so it made me hard to empathize with them.
That's what I love about it, though.
But if you empathize with empathize with the characters, then it makes you feel a lot worse when the bad things happen to them.
Don't you see, Alex? It's number one on my list. Be quiet.
Jeez, already spoiling your list. Goodness gracious.
Spoilers.
Let's see. Oh, and then I watched the first episode of Clanad just because I'd heard that's
beautiful.
I've heard that lots of people love it. I've learned now that it's Clanad After Story is what everyone loves, which is like the second season. And I was watching the first episode of the first season, and it really didn't impress me that much. I gotta say.
Da, 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 da,
But rules of anime, thou shalt not judge by the first episode.
Oh, I like to judge by first episode.
I thought it was cute.
Thank you, Gretchen.
I haven't seen the whole thing, though.
I'm far preferred like the first episode of Toradora, another romantic comedy show. Like that grabbed me whereas this one didn't. But I want to try the first episode of After Story, see if that's better.
No, you
'cause I've
can't
heard
do
it
that
is.
because it's a sequel.
Well, I'll spoil
can't do
myself
that.
then. Whatever.
Alex
No.
doesn't care. Do it, Alex. Do it.
No,
And then I also
watch
watched-
24 episodes.
Be hateful.
I watched-
Join the
I watched
power
the-
of the dark side.
Thank you.
It'll
And
punch
finally,
you.
I watched the film Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works, just because I
You
saw
gotta
it.
be one of those fate people to understand that.
Yeah,
Hullabaloo.
it's apparently it's like a very quicker retelling of the main story of Fate Stay Night, except it's based off visual novels. So this was like a separate path in the visual novels that the TV show didn't take. But it was made in like 2010, so the animation is very nice.
Oh, I forgot another show I did watch.
What?
Other than being lazy and not watching anything, I finished Steins Gate.
Oh,
So-
and you like it?
I liked it. It tries to pull this romantic crap that does not come. It comes out of nowhere. It's like you're trying to save this one girl, so shouldn't you feel obligated to go after this one girl? But because it's based off of a visual novel, they decide, oh, let's do it after this character and make them the love interest all of a sudden. I mean, they semi-built with it, but then it's just like, but it was still good. I mean, I gave it an 8 out of 10. It was a good show. I like the show. I have the visual novel now, and I'm currently playing the visual novel. So
All right.
it's 50 hours long.
So yeah, I watched
Oh my
a whole crap load of stuff in preparation for this podcast. So there you
Good
go.
job.
All right, so now we're gonna get into the meat of the show today, which is the top 10 anime movies discussion. We're gonna do a little bit like the TV shows, one where we're all gonna go around and say our top 3 movies, but then instead of us each like taking a lot of time to pitch a single show that we really want to go to, I figure we'll just go into the discussion, start throwing out ideas, and we'll start assembling our list and narrowing it down to our 10.
Super Mario Brothers Melee! We're just gonna jump on the table and start punching people, and then whoever wins the first round gets to say their title.
I
I would
swear I will
second.
bite you if you try to kick me. I will latch onto you like a piranha, and I will not let go. And yes, I am completely aware of the fact that piranha do not latch onto their prey. They take small bites and swim away. Thank you.
Well, I wasn't questioning you on that, but thank you for explaining. So I guess I'll go first. And one thing I should mention with this, we went back and forth quite a bit on what our Studio Ghibli rule should be.
Studio Ghibli rule.
For-
Alert. There is a rule.
For this list.
Restrictions.
And we sort of
I'm the referee here.
Why don't you explain it for everyone then, since you're the referee, Matt?
Oh, you didn't have the whistle. Did you have the little whistle?
No, I don't have
yeah.
a whistle.
I'm pretty sure you would destroy the mics if you used a whistle. On
Oh
them.
yeah, you probably would.
Yeah, that would be bad.
Now
I'm
she's the
learning how to
referee.
whistle.
She's the referee.
I'm
now.
learning how to whistle, and I can
Okay,
kind
okay.
of...
Alex is Alex is the official referee, so let's stick with
All right,
Alex.
fine. So
Stop getting us off track, Clara.
we were thinking of just like letting any Studio Ghibli film be on the list. The only problem with that being, number one, there's a ton of great movies that come out of Ghibli, but also we're more inclined to have seen those since they have a more American presence, whereas there's some other great movies that don't have that presence, and I would like to see those get represented on this list and not have it just be dominated by Ghibli. So the rule is we're going to only have 3 Ghibli films on the list. So
3 Ghibli.
we have to narrow it down to what we think are the 3 best. Of course, Matt's already found a loophole in this, and he's going to wiggle in
Loophole, I love loopholes.
with his Castle of Cagliostro,
Cagliostro.
since it's technically Miyazaki, but not.
It is before
Ghibli.
he went to Ghibli, and
I love
therefore
Miyazaki.
it's Miyazaki. So,
But it's included in like Studio Ghibli collections. Like I see it there.
I love that movie.
those are.
But it still wasn't produced.
It wasn't
under-
made by Studio Ghibli. And are you talking about these funny ones you see on Amazon that are like obviously what do you call it?
bootleg.
Bootleg.
Yeah.
Yar har fiddly dee.
Well, that was my little sister actually bought that, and I think she had no idea it was a bootleg until she got it.
You even bought the bootleg of Bebops. I'm so ashamed of you.
Yeah. Well, I went in. I debated with myself on whether that was morally right or not, but as I sort of thought about it, paying the extra $10 to get the real discs, I was buying it off of like eBay, so none of the money was actually going to go to the original producers. It was just going to
You
go
should
to
have
the
bought it off
guy.
eBay. You should bought it off Amazon.
Whatever. I'm sorry, Matt.
Tisk.
Anyways,
So you supported piracy instead.
Alex supports piracy, everyone. He is a pirate.
Stop yelling!
yeah, please at least back up from the mic if you're going to yell.
Fine, I will yell far away from the mic.
Thank you. Okay, getting on with the show. My number 3 film is Millennium Actress, Satoshi Kon film, what I consider to be his best movie. quite like that
Oh, wait,
one.
are we doing top threes here real quick?
Yeah, I'm doing my top 3. We're going to go around. My number 2 is the Cowboy Bebop movie, Knocking on Heaven's Door. I'm surprised that not as many people had that on their top 10s as I would have thought, because it's like, I really don't have any real faults with the movie. It's just great Cowboy Bebopness all
Just
around.
bebops.
And number 1, Princess Mononoke, my favorite Ghibli film, favorite Miyazaki film, one of my favorite animated films ever. So, belongs at number 1. Jeremy.
Oh, I've seen it over
Okay.
14 times.
My number 3 film would be much like yours, the Cowboy Bebop film.
All right.
Number 2 would be the Castle of Cagliostro.
Yeah.
That's right. You really like that one, like Matt.
I was incredibly entertained by it. And I believe number 1 would be Castle in the Sky.
I know that's your favorite Ghibli. I'm surprised Jinro didn't make it in your top 3.
Jinro's number 4.
Okay, so just off.
Not to mention that even if I said Jinro, everyone else would complain about it because no one else liked it but me.
I have not seen it yet, sir, so when I get to it, I'll let you know. Go you up and...
What is with your accents? Stop it.
No, man.
We
talk in a
apologize
baby
for
voice
Matt.
if
He,
Matt
he
has
clearly
accents?
he's
That's
caught
so
the
cute.
stupid, so we can't do anything about it. Don't worry, I'm going to put him down Old Yeller style after the podcast. So
We don't talk about that here.
Stults will not allow this.
Gosh.
If Matt's talking like that, can I talk in the baby voice?
No.
Clara's allowed. Come on, I give her
Yay.
permission. And also, can everyone just please keep a median length between you and your microphone? Because as you keep moving back and forth, it's messing with my
I have been
levels.
instructed to move backwards from the mic.
When you yell, you can do that.
I've been told to step back from the mic. Beep, beep. Okay. Oh, is it my turn?
It is your
Yes.
turn,
Am I
Matt.
stalling? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just making pure entertainment.
I'm sure.
I'm like a Charlie in the box. Okay, whatever.
What?
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Are we going back? We can't talk about...
a Charlie.
Thank you. Let's not talk about Christmas. This isn't the right podcast for that.
No, it's not.
Okay, so yeah, starting it up from number 3, we got some Castle of Cagliostro.
Okay.
We also got some Princess Mononoke at number 2.
Interesting.
And in my number 1, it's Samurai X Trust and Betrayal.
Really, so that's your favorite anime
It is
film.
like a Roman tragedy. Like, yes, you're a little bit detached from the
Do
characters.
you
but
mean
are
a Greek tragedy?
Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry. Thank you.
Remember, everyone, I'm the science major here, so I shouldn't know any of this.
That's okay, Jeremy. We love you. But no, one thing I'm just going to give a real quick thing why I love this film is it's like a tragedy. Well, it is a tragedy, basically. You're not supposed to be super connected with the characters, except at the very beginning. Like, his whole family gets killed right before him, and then he buries them in their own little graves and makes crosses for them. It's called...
But it's not actually his family. His actual family died, and they were like the slave traders.
They were the slaves, but they were the ones who shielded him to protect him because there were these women and like they were being slave traded and he was one of them, and then like they protected him. They told him you have to live, and then they died for him. It is such a heart crushing moment. It's like you can't.
It's not really that heart crushing since you barely know these characters.
Alex, you can just go. You can
See, when
jump out that. See that window? I encourage the jumping motion.
Well, thank you.
Jump.
You have,
Jump.
you have
It's a 2-foot drop. He's not going to get hurt from jumping out that window.
It's okay. He'll get the glass wounds.
I will say though, I watched the English dub of it, and the dub is pretty terrible.
Oh, it is pretty bad. Lovely fresh
pretty
flowers for sale.
Oh yes.
Remember that lady?
Well, and just I don't know who was playing Kenshin, but there were
Oh, yeah.
times when he worked, but most of the time he sounded very disinterested in what he was saying.
Yeah. I don't know. I have mixed feelings. I've only seen the dubbed of that version, which is really weird. I've listened to this Japanese a little bit, but I don't know. It's just I like Kenshin. Is like just the story, like it's an older series, yada yada yada. But the whole idea of it's like how he became this manslayer, and then obviously the series is how he repents for that. I don't know. It's just
No, it is good, and I do think it has some nice commentary and depiction of like violence, and him living this life of blood, and then having the peaceful life.
Okay,
and
the
all
whole
that.
other idea is that I'm going to spoiler alert. No one cares because this is old, but the point is he kills the future husband of Tomo, and then he falls in love with Tomo, and they sort of fall in love, and then he realizes, oh, I'm the one who killed your future husband, and she hated him all those years, and she really wanted to kill him, but in the end she loved him.
Yeah, I don't.
It's a love
I'm
story.
trying to think of something that reminds me of, but
I don't know.
just can't
The
right
thing
now.
that did sort of bother me was that so apparently Tomo knew that he was the killer of her husband since like the very beginning. So why didn't she kill him early on before she had feelings?
the knife, and Kenshin even brought it up later on. What are you going to do with that knife? Because, there's one time she doesn't bring it out, and he always noticed when she had the knife. Like, when they would go just to the town to sell the little medicinal herbs or whatever, he would know. Oh,
I know, but I'm talking about before that, like, when they were still living in Kyoto.
Because Japan's set up on this rules, like, you have to obey, if you're under a person, you respect that person. It's the Japanese culture. If you're below someone, you don't say, hey, dude, high five. You don't just start...
There is a level of formality.
Exactly. And especially when you go back to, like, the 1800s in Japan, that's a lot stricter, especially when the shogun's under control.
Well, I get that, but if
Totes.
if this guy killed your husband and you hate him and you have a knife and you know you're going to kill him, why don't you do it?
But he's also with the mob, or whatever the family. It wasn't necessarily a mob, but that organization that was, messing with the government, whatever. If you kill him, they're gonna come after you. It doesn't make sense to do that.
I guess.
It's kind of like if you kill someone in the mob, not a good idea that you're gonna be living too much longer.
And since we already spoiled the end, one other thing that did bother me a little bit was that, admittedly, the bad guys definitely considered Kenshin to be a threat, but yet in the end, when they got their whole thing fighting him as he's going up the snow hill, to where Tomo is, he only fights 3 guys, and then the 4th guy is the final guy.
He's also injured though, and it's in the middle of snow. He's holding on to this. Is it the scarf that Tomo had? It has her scent.
Yes.
That he's walking with it as he's trying to go save her, and then in the end, when he's fighting these people, she actually blocks the blow because it's her family that's trying to kill him.
But the point,
she was her character herself was like more of this like mole in that organization.
But my point is, if they knew he was a big threat, why did they only bring 4 guys to fight him when they could have brought 20 and just outnumbered him?
Because it's a personal thing. You're gonna just keep it. It's almost like, well, in Gurren Lagann, why didn't they have more? Why didn't they just bring more giant ships to go in outer space to go throw stuff? I mean, you can always ask the question, why isn't there more? Why don't we have more? Whatever. Why aren't there more guards in the castle of Cagliostro? Why aren't there more wolves in Princess Mononoke?
Well, but in this case, it's a thing where we don't know exactly how many wolves there are. We just assume we're shown, okay, there are like 20 wolves. Okay, so there are 20 wolves, whatever. But in this, we know that there's this whole crime syndicate, shogunate family. Well, if he's a badass, then bring more than 4 people.
Okay, if it's 4 people and you're basically like, we could do this. I'm the best. That kind of deal. You're not going to say, I'm going to get lots of more people because I really know I'm not capable of fighting this person.
Egos.
Egos.
I know.
Clara understands the story better than you, and she hasn't even seen it.
Nope.
I'm nitpicking a bit, I know.
You're nitpicking.
Sounds
It's a good
intense.
movie, whatever. Moving on, Clara, what are your top
my
3?
turn?
Yes.
Number 3 is Castle Cagliostro.
Yeah!
Jeez.
I saw it this summer. My friend Monica lent it to me, and I was like, "This is cute and silly." And
I am just like Superman flying in the sky. I mean, I know Andrew brought up Angel Beats, and I have a dicey relationship with Angel Beats.
So we've
I
heard.
liked the first 3 episodes, but I was misled.
it's
I
okay.
thought it was,
Talk into your microphone,
okay,
please.
I thought it was going to be... Okay, these 2 don't know. I have to explain myself real quick. I thought it was going to be an action show, and I was disappointed because I didn't know it wasn't going to be. And then when it turned out to be, I didn't know it was going to be that. But I do love drama. I actually watched a Moe over the winter break.
I'm
and
proud
I
of
loved
you.
It. I loved it. I bought it. It's only 11 episodes, and it was $50, and I bought it. I loved it.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Please continue. Sorry.
Okay. Number 2, don't roll your eyes at me, but Pokemon Heroes. That has a special place in my heart. Okay.
Is that the Latios
Yes,
one?
it is. Okay, Ruby version was the first game I actually understood Pokemon. Like, I had Crystal version, but I was like 8 when I got Crystal, and I was like, oh, I'm just using my Feraligatr for everything because it's strong, and I know Ice Punch, because that was when Ice Punch was a TM. The good days. But, so I got my Latios in Ruby version. I caught that by myself.
Sapphire was my first Pokemon game.
But I remember Latios. I caught it to the right of Mauville City on the water, and I was like, oh my gosh, I found Latios, throws Master Ball, because I didn't care about Rayquaza at all. I didn't know Rayquaza was a thing. But, so when this movie came out, I was instantly drawn towards Latios and Latias and their whole little sister big brother relationship, and I just love the little airplane duet. But when
The visuals.
oh god, it was adorable.
The whole like Italian. Sorry, that's one of the
yes,
first.
and
Pokemon
it looked like Venice.
I love this Pokemon film. It's been years since I've seen it. I watched it back when it was on the old
I have
Cartoon
the
Network.
DVD of it, not with me.
Oh, we gotta watch
unfortunately.
this. Okay, that's got to be another Pokemon movie.
Please,
I've
please,
seen
please,
that.
please, 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 please.
Yeah, I will admit that is one of the better Pokemon movies, probably.
It was so beautiful.
So, like, Latios' death was probably one of the hardest Pokemon deaths I've had to deal with.
Spoilers.
Like, it's shut up. But
And don't
That's
the
the
enemies
one
get
that
like
I care.
stuck in the thing
yeah,
and like it's
but-
not really determined?
And
Oh.
do you remember in the credits, the guy from Pokemon 2000 gets a little cameo in the book that they're reading?
Oh.
Yeah, you mentioned
Yeah.
that on the podcast, I remember.
Yeah, I was like that guy.
All right, what's your number one then?
Mononoke.
All right,
yeah.
good choice.
I like
I-
Clara's list a lot. Sorry.
I have seen it over 15 times.
Wow.
When I first got it, I probably watched it like every day, like after our words. It was just so wonderful. And then over the next couple months, I just kept watching it and watching it. And I have most of it memorized completely. So, yeah,
Hey,
I'm a little obsessed with this movie.
It got me into anime.
Yeah.
That was the thing. That was the little gateway drug.
But I remember when I was like, I was really young. Must have been, it was on TV, so it had to have been after it came out for a while. But I was really little, and it was on TV, and it was the part where, what's his face?
Ashitaka?
No, the white boar.
Oh.
Okoto.
Okoto,
It starts with an
yeah.
L. Okoto starts becoming a demon, had those weird demon wormy things. And I remember seeing
that's
that, and I was
creepy.
so scarred by it. I was like, oh god, my mom's like, you're not watching this. That was the first experience I had with Mononoke. And then later, when I watched this, I was like, oh, that's what scarred me for a couple weeks when I was little.
Yeah, that
I
is.
understand now.
That's not a good scene to see when you're a little kid.
Yeah, but I love it very much now.
Yeah.
I love Ashitaka as a character. I love San
And
as
even
an
the
independent
ending,
woman.
The ending with
Yeah.
that, how it's not that, it's that bittersweet. It's like they don't sort of not get together, but they kind
kinda
of do.
do.
It's like, oh, Miyazaki, I see what you did there.
You and your vague relationships.
Yes.
Nice.
Okay,
All right,
that's it.
Gretchen.
Am I allowed to have two Ghibli?
Yeah, you can have two
Sure.
Ghibli
All
in your
right,
top
well,
three.
my 3 was also Princess Mononoke.
All right.
2, even though I haven't seen the show, I still picked the Cowboy Bebop movie.
Nice.
Because it was easy to understand even when you haven't seen the show, and I was really into it right away.
Well, that's good. I mean, for someone who's not even seen the show, I'm impressed.
Yeah.
It was good. I want to watch the show after seeing it, so I'd say it was good.
All right.
And then number 1, I'd say Howl's Moving Castle, because that kind of got me into anime a little bit more. So I love that movie. I've seen it so many times.
Yes, our own Jeremy Zajac and, well, both you and Matt are not the biggest fans
Not
of
the
that
biggest
movie.
fans, but hey, I own it. I enjoy it. What it did, it's a cute little love story. I've read the actual book it was based on and still think Miyazaki's characterization of those characters is better than the book.
Yeah, I liked it more.
So, I mean, I almost wanted to say I like the story in the book.
Billy Crystal is hysterical.
Yes.
I love him as Calcifer so much.
Here's another curse. May all your,
Your
bacon, burn.
He's just so sassy. I love him.
Yeah, he is great.
And Turnip Head.
Oh, Turnip
So
is so
cute.
cute.
I always hated turnips.
And it's just like, I'm actually a prince, but I can't tell you that because I don't have vocal cords.
I mean, my major, like I've already explained multiple times that I have a problem with the plot, like the whole war that's going on. It's almost like you don't even need the war. Get rid of the war and just focus it on
Yeah, I'd agree
Al
with
and Sophie.
I would
Yeah,
agree with that
I can
because
see
the
that.
war part isn't. It's nice visually, to get some nice, beautiful explosions and airships and stuff. But beyond that, it's not really that important to the
I mean,
story.
they could have pulled like a Les Mis, like how the book is mostly about France and the government, not about these relationships, Gesundheit. And they changed it into more focusing on Jean Valjean and his life and not mostly the French government, which would make for a very boring movie. And people have complained about that. Like, why isn't this so like the book? And I'm like, you want to watch a movie about governments? All right, then.
Do they sound like the teachers from Charlie Brown?
Womp, 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 womp. But like I like Howl.
Yeah, no, I think everyone here likes Howl, for sure. I also, like Matt, I didn't the war stuff bumped for a little bit for me, but it's still one of my favorite of Miyazaki's movies.
I mean, I have to say, when I first was getting into the whole anime sphere, like, it was one of the first Miyazaki DVDs I got, and it's one of those films I've seen lots and lots of times. I mean, good times. Not bad.
Good times. All right. So now we're going to move on to our little part where we compile a big list of potential candidates for our favorite movies, and we narrow it down to 10, and then from there we order it and
Garbage
figure out
time.
what it's going to be. So, for starters, I think we could all agree Princess Mononoke should probably be on here since it's on multiple people's
Oh,
lists.
yeah.
Yes.
Princess Mononoke.
Mononoke Hime.
Probably Castle of Cagliostro.
Why
since
not?
People had that on their lists.
I think it's going to be a tie for the third Ghibli. Oh, actually, no, wait, never mind, because we're not counting Cagliostro.
Yeah,
as a Ghibli.
personally for me, here's what I had in mind for, at least for the top 2 Ghibli movies in my mind, are Princess Mononoke and Castle in the Sky.
I do like Castle in
And
the
then
Sky.
the third one is what's tougher, because there are several movies I love. I love Nausicaa, I love Spirited Away, and those are more ones, and I actually like Howl's Moving Castle a lot too. So those are all movies I enjoy a lot. But if we're talking about like the best anime films of all time, it seems like it would be bad of us not to mention Grave of the Fireflies, since that's it's one of the best critically acclaimed anime films
critically
ever.
acclaimed, but I literally just saw that a few weeks ago. Like, it is a slow film. I mean, it's not a film you're going to go watch and say, oh boy, can't wait to watch the 2 main characters die.
Eternal sadness.
I mean, it just...
Lay down.
It's
Try not to cry.
But it's
Cry a lot.
but it's a really good movie. You have
like,
to admit.
It is a good movie, but it's not like this is the best of Ghibli. I mean, yes, it's Asao Takahata doing his magic of like, you Americans, don't you feel so bad? Look what you did.
Look what
Well,
you
but
did.
he says it's not an anti-war film, even though it definitely has
It's
some of
kind
those.
like you said. When I rewatched it with the whole looking over the city, like it's like, oh, we've moved on. Urban development. It's it's not Japan anymore. It's futuristic, high tech America.
All right, so I know. Let's put it to a quick vote. Do you guys think we should, have Grave of the Fireflies amongst our Ghibli top 3 because it's so critically acclaimed, or should we make room for a more fun movie?
More fun.
Fun.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen it, so I don't have an opinion.
Honestly, and the
have
other
not
part
seen
is
it
though,
either.
I can't. The last time I saw it, I just remember turning it off and going, "Nope, I'm done. I'm done. No, I'm done.
It's not
Done,
something
done,
you
no,
like
done."
for a top 10. It's not. It doesn't need to be critically. It needs to be what you enjoy the most.
Okay, fine. All right, so we won't have that. So do we all agree Castle in the Sky should be
Castle
on?
or Castle or How?
Yeah.
Castle.
Okay, so Castle in the Sky will be on there. And what will the third Ghibli movie be then?
Spirited Away?
Ugh.
That's tough for me
As
between
much
Spirited
as I
Away and How.
despise Chihiro's English voice, I
Really?
enjoyed it's so shrill. It just hurts me when she yells. And just, I don't know. I don't like her voice. I remember the first time I heard it, when she was just like running through town, just going, I'm dreaming. I'm like,
I'm dreaming.
like, that's exactly what I heard. And it was annoying. And I was like, stop talking. Stop. I don't want to listen to you. Stop being a whiny little baby.
I know, yeah. For me, the reason I love Spirited Away isn't so much about the characters as it is just about the world, because it's such a fascinating, beautiful world that Miyazaki makes in that movie. But at the same time, I would probably rank... I personally would rank Nausicaa above it, for me at least.
Nausicaa
I only
or
saw the ending.
Castle.
Of what, Nausicaa?
Yeah. It was
it's
like,
so
they had a
good.
thing a couple summer, like, maybe it was like 2003 or so. They had like Anna Mondays or something, and they would always have the movies at night. And so my mom and my little brother were watching Nausicaa, and then I come out of my room like, what you doing? Because I kept hearing
I bet
explosions.
it was Toonami's Month of Miyazaki.
Something like that,
It
yeah.
was like 2007, before Toonami went off the
Yeah,
air.
because Anna Mondays was on a different channel. And
Yeah,
I'm so
that
sad
was
that stopped,
sci-fi.
because that's where I watched Samurai Deeper. But, so I only saw the ending, but I liked it. It was different.
Okay, so what are we? So it's between Nausicaa, Spirited Away, and Howl's Moving Castle, by the sounds of it, right?
How?
So would you two both say Howl then?
Yeah, I'm gonna say How.
I'm going Nausicaa.
I go Nausicaa. Jeremy?
I have no opinion on this matter, so I abstain.
No, you
But
cannot.
you have to break the tie. Come on.
Do you like Howl? Would you like Nausicaa? Or do you want to be that guy and like Spirited Away?
Well, gee, man, you put it that way. I kind of want to vote for Ponyo now. To really make everyone
I
mad.
thought it was cute.
Okay,
It was
it's cute for children, but
No, it's not. I think it's just stupid all around.
Well, it only has nice things to say about you.
Well, you know what? Maybe it needs a little dose of reality then.
Ouch.
You have to admit, it's compare
It
Princess
is
Mononoke
very
to it.
childish,
It is so stupid as hell.
but that's why it's cute. I don't know.
Okay,
I loved
You've
it.
seen Nostalgia Critic's review of it.
No.
Oh.
Well, but he even says it's a good movie. He just points out it's not as good as some people say.
I know, but the weird baby thing again, where the weird baby's just like this grumbly face.
Could we please, okay, moving beyond Ponyo, now that I've started a nightmare.
The Nightmare Before Cthulhu.
Oh, gosh.
Go on, Jeremy.
Let's just go with Nausicaa.
All right. Nausicaa wins it then. All right. Okay, so I think we could also probably add the Cowboy Bebop movie to this list.
Yep.
People had that on there. Bebop.
Bebop.
What else? What else did people mention?
That was pretty much it, because you really had a really high tie of Mononoke and Cagliostro kind of hitting the ranks
yeah, those were
everywhere.
up there. I want to put Millennium Actress up there since that was my top 3. We need to have some sort of Satoshi Kon movie on the
I
list.
prefer Paprika, man. Paprika all the way.
Paprika is visually stunning, but the story really loses me after like by the third act. Like I have no idea what the hell is going on.
What about Summer Wars?
I do want to have
yeah, I
Summer
forgot to
Wars
mention
on
that.
here,
Yeah, let's put Summer Wars.
but
What are you doing, Jeremy?
I'd put Paprika on the nominations list, but I'd push for either Millennium Actress or even Perfect Blue over Paprika because I like both those better than Paprika personally.
I don't know.
Well,
we'll
we'll
get back to that.
All right, we'll
That's
put
it.
Millennium Actress and Paprika on the list. What else do I have here?
I want to put Redline on that list.
Okay, Red Line. What are you doing, Jeremy?
I'm counting.
Oh, the number of things I have on here? There's 24, but I'm not going to actually push for all of them, so.
Let me see some of that 24.
No,
action.
I'll show it to you after the podcast if you're interested.
Sort of Stranger?
Okay.
I like that one.
That deserves to be
Clara
considered.
likes it.
I'd also maybe nominate Ninja Scroll to be on there. For consideration, Matt. Come on.
I'm gonna go for Angel Cop.
You
Danger
are
Cop,
funny.
I might as well just put the dynamite in my mouth.
No, not that.
Pokemon, the first movie.
I accidentally started writing Ninja Cop instead of
No, Ninja Scroll.
Ninja Scroll. Okay.
Ninja Scroll. It's
Um,
I'd rather
Pokemon,
eat
the
Growl.
first movie.
Okay.
No.
No, sorry.
Pokemon, the fourth movie.
No Pokemans are going to be allowed here.
Really?
Why
but,
not?
but you're the one who liked the fourth movie. You're just
Hey, I like
gushing about
okay,
it.
yeah.
Hoenn, besides, I think the
Me and the Hoenn region.
newest generation
Hey,
has like the
I
most
love the
movies.
Hoenn region. I'm disappointed that I have not seen a remake.
I know, right?
Oh, it's been all but promised for a 3DS remake.
Okay.
Please, please, please.
All right, and here's the movie that I
Better be
came
after
in
X and Y.
knowing I'm going to get some friction on it, but I really want to put in the top 10.
Friction.
It's called... Oh, thanks, Clara.
You're welcome.
It's called The Disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya. Is that a car crashing? Or what?
That was actually a train's brakes just slamming on the emergency brake because the tunnel ahead is destroyed.
Okay. Well, here, let me put up a defense for this, and then you can have your
I don't
argument.
like. It's a good film, even though I have not seen it. I've seen the first 3 minutes. But
Genius.
the internet says, which you should never trust the internet, kids. The internet is full of lies.
Lies and slander.
Yeah, well, I just want to point out, like, I'm not saying this proves that it should be on my list, but it does show how critically acclaimed the movie is. It's on ANN. They have like a list of based on this
It's
certain
computer
ranking.
generated.
It's some sort of like ranking algorithm. They have like the top 10 anime things ever. Which
Even the
includes
people who work there mock it.
Okay, well, let's go on from that. From both TV shows and movies. And The Disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya made number 6 on that list. It's also the number 1 film on MyAnimeList.com. It won the Best Theatrical Film Award at the 2010 Animation Kobe Awards. And there are plenty of reviewers that have given it high scores. So, point being, it's a critically acclaimed film. And I'm not even that big of a fan of the Haruhi franchise, like the TV show. I like it, but I'm not really that in love with it. But this movie actually goes away from the wacky hijinks of the TV show and really just goes into a lot of great character development, actually. And by the end, it's like by the time it gets to the climax, like it's just going on all cylinders, and that's what's been building up for this whole movie because it's nearly 3 hours long, so it's a long movie. But when it gets to that climax, it's one of the best climaxes I've ever seen in like an anime. And there's this great inner monologue that Kyon has, and then a great twist that happens after that, and all sorts of good stuff. So I want to have it on the list. Okay.
That's good.
Any opposition?
You haven't seen it. He's looking at the list and he's not approving of Eva 2.0 on this list, but he has not seen the rebuild, which goes a completely different direction of the original series.
Is Shinji still a whiny sack of crap?
Not the
Well,
in
he
the first
is-
episode. In the first movie, he's still kind of this, but the second film, he's not.
Well, he is in the second film up to a certain point, and then but instead of basically being Shinji like he was in the TV show and just sitting there whining, he actually grows a pair and does
balls.
something.
Yes.
And that's actually kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie, even though I don't like Ava. So
You liar! You mix your words, Mr.
no,
Schmidt.
it's actually on this little list I have here.
Oh,
so
yeah, I know it's
I'd be
there.
willing to put it on the nominations list. I probably will fight it for the top 10. But
Oh no, I
put
don't want it on
there.
the top 10. I don't
All
think
right.
Ava needs to be on the top 10.
Yeah, so-
just don't even write it down.
Fine, and Disappearance belongs on this nominations list. I also wanted to push for Perfect Blue, at least to be on the nominations list, because that's my second favorite Satoshi Kon film, and I really
You and your Satoshi coins.
Yeah, he's
Your
one of the-
Satoshi coins.
he's one of the best anime directors ever.
and he's dead now.
Jeez,
Sad.
you had to take it there, didn't you?
I did have to take it there.
All right, and then I wanted to propose two anime films from the 80s that a lot of people would have on their lists, and I know we have some opposition in this room on these two films, Ghost in the Shell and Akira.
I could never make it through Akira.
Really?
I don't know. I kind of
I
lost
would.
interest.
I say, in my opinion, Cobra's better than Ghost in the Shell. That's my 2 cents.
I would not say that.
Ghost
I
in the
would
Shell.
say-
Well,
Ghost in the Shell was boring.
Ghost in the Shell
Yes,
is
thank you.
is that I don't think we need to. Personally, I wouldn't nominate Ghost in the Shell, but I would nominate Akira because even though the plot is,
I can sort of semi give Akira the pass. It's not my thing, but you know what? Looking at it at the other angle, looking out the other window to face the neighbor Dinkelberg, it's like Dinkelberg.
My friend's neighbor is actually named Dinkelberg,
really,
That's amazing.
That's awesome.
isn't it?
I want to go say hi, Dinkelberg.
did they get mocked all the
Fetch
time?
Dinkle Dog.
Probably. I don't know.
Yeah, but my argument for Akira though is like the plot really doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but then again, neither does the plot in like Redline.
It's just a cool,
and
action
it's
film.
visually stunning for its time, and even today it's not as good, but it still holds up really well. I think the world he creates is really cool, like this Neo Tokyo thing, and the music is also very nice. Like there's obviously a lot of love and production that went into it, so it deserves to be nominated at the very least. I'd also like to push for The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, another Mamoru Hosoda film. Also, I saw in a lot of people's top 10 lists, critically acclaimed, you have to admit.
Just because something says critically acclaimed, we can say something's critically acclaimed, but that's what the critics say. That's not popular opinion or what necessarily it's good. You can say this film is amazing, yes,
Well,
because you.
I also found it on several just voting sites. People
Voting
listed as a
sites.
popular one. Oh wait, Jeremy, I know you've got to go, but real quick before you do, any movies we haven't mentioned that you want to nominate?
I want to say Shinro, but I'm not going to because not everyone here has seen it, and I know the people here who have seen it didn't actually watch it. So
I watched it.
no, you
watched it.
didn't.
Yes, I did. I'll
You
admit.
carried on a conversation with one of your friends. Is what you did, my friend.
I wa-
And then you were
I-
confused
I admit
about what was going on.
I missed a little bit of the first 4 minutes or so, but after that I watched every minute of it.
I
So,
watched
and
it.
to be fair, I'd be willing to nominate Jinro for the list because as much as I dislike it, looking back on it, I have to admit some of it is just my personal preference of what sort of movies I like because it is a well-told story and it is a well-animated film. So I'd nominate it, but although I would
And-
fight it for getting on the top 10.
and it is Japanese people in power armor in the 70s.
That is true. Look like the Hellgas, though. Got to admit.
You do realize this movie, I believe, predates it by
Well,
good.
that's true. So maybe the Hellgas got it from Shinro.
No, everything just took it from the
Nazis.
yeah.
everyone took from the Nazis.
Those wacky Nazis.
Oh boy. Anything else?
I do not support the Nazis in any way. Do not take that context. Please do not take that out of context.
Oh,
please.
once you leave the
Please.
room, context will lose itself.
What does that even mean?
It
The
means
Twilight Zone.
Anyways, anything else?
Thank
Anything else you want to nominate, Jeremy?
off the top of my head,
The Astro. They don't have a lot of other films. I did want to mention one film I actually saw over the summer. I don't know if I ever mentioned this, but I watched the film Trigun Badlands Rumble.
It's good. I prefer the TV series.
Well, I prefer the TV series too. I mean, this didn't have much character depth to it, but it was fun.
It was fun. It was
good.
Gasback, the one villain that Vash the Stampede never went after.
Yes.
So it's a cute film.
I'd nominate it at least.
Nominate.
Phenomena.
Stop. Nominate.
Okay.
We'll continue on to Germany.
Once he leaves, we'll just have all the fun in the world.
you guys can't see it, but I'm holding up a no fun allowed sign right now.
Oh, I see.
It's true. You're like Squidward.
Hey, Squidward.
I love how we
So now
both
he's
went there.
GG and
Do
Squidward.
you feel
GG
it,
and
Mr.
Squidward.
Krabs? Do you feel it?
Did you just? I think Jeremy just poked Matt in the stomach. All right. Well, if you don't have anything else to nominate, Jeremy, I guess this is goodbye, since you got to go study for exams.
Who does that?
Yes, I apologize that I plan on having a fulfilling and well-paying career after college, Alex.
Yep. Whereas I'm gonna just go ride in the streets as a film major.
Yep.
Aw.
Have fun with that.
And watch anime.
Yeah, but at least I'll know anime. Take that. Now who has the last laugh?
At least I'll
Still
have
me.
a top 10.
Still me, because then I could afford to watch anime.
I think you could afford to buy anime.
He'll just
at
watch
least.
it through your window. Like, just sit outside your living room as you watch anime.
Yes, I'll
I
have
wonder what Jeremy's watching tonight.
I'll have a beer to rival Mark's. Just you wait.
No,
I
you
can't
won't.
even
Oh.
right now.
I see you being really patchy.
I don't know about that.
No. I can see your stubble, and your beard is going to be black, and your hair is blonde. It will look horrible.
My hair is not blonde. It's brown.
Dirty
It's
blonde.
definitely not blonde.
Stop getting
And
highlights.
silence erupts the room.
I will admit, it does become more blonde during the summer just from sunlight. That's one thing I've noticed. What is Stop it. Stop giggling. All right. So long, Jeremy.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Yes, just leave. Go away.
All right.
Don't come back.
And then
No, God damn it.
I'd nominate Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust as well. I don't think it should belong on the top 10,
Nope.
but I do think it's worth mentioning just because I did enjoy it quite a bit.
Well, that's a Ghibli. Darn.
What were you going to mention?
I was gonna say Whisper of the Heart, but I like Whisper of the Heart.
I do love Whisper of the Heart, but since we're restricting ourselves, we can't do it. It's not as good as Nausicaa.
We put hearts across our we've chained our hearts away for the Ghibli. No love
See.
for the Ghibli.
Sorry, Ghibli.
Clara and Gretchen, you guys haven't talked a whole lot. Is there any films that we haven't mentioned that you want to nominate?
Not that we haven't said already.
No, they know their place. They're the little lambs. They don't want to be chopped up and killed.
What, by you?
I mean,
Silence
I
of the
like the
Lambs.
live action Death Note movie, but that doesn't really count.
Yeah, that
'cause it's
doesn't
not-
count.
Does not
I
count.
keep going through things in my head. I'm like, all right, what animes have I seen that have movies? Death Note. Wait, that's
Animes.
people.
Animes.
The Animus.
Animus. Have you guys seen all three of those films? Just to get on topic real quick.
I've seen the second one and half of the first one.
Oh, have you seen L Change the World?
No.
Oh, it's a cute film.
Okay.
Like if you want to see like L, it's in because you know how like L's going to die in a certain amount of days. It's basically a film that he has to basically solve this mystery in this many days, and he takes care of these two kids during the whole process.
I've heard about the live action movies. I've
My
heard sort of
heart.
mixed things. Like some people say they're good, other people
They were
say
good
they're
back in the day
not so good. But
when there was low radiation.
one thing we didn't mention was Trust and Betrayal, which I know Matt's gonna want.
I do, but I don't know where it'll go. It's a big puzzle piece. These two.
Okay, so I think we've got our
Oh,
nominations
yes.
list. So
What's
right now
that
we've got Princess Mononoke. Well, let me count it up real quick. 1, 2, 3,
12.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
75.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15,
394.
16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So we have 20
21.
nominations here. We have Princess Mononoke, Castle of Cagliostro, Castle in the Sky, Nausicaa, Cowboy Bebop, the movie, Summer Wars, Millennium Actress, Paprika, Redline, Sword of the Stranger, Ninja Scroll, Eva 2.0, The Disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya, Perfect Blue, Akira, The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, Jinro, Trigun, Trigun Badlands, Rumble,
Yeah,
Vampire Hunter D, Bloodlust, and Trust and Betrayal.
Let's just start taking the axe and start killing things
Well-
and see what gets left.
Well, I was thinking we might.
Use your HMs, right, Clara? It's been
Yeah.
so long since I'm trying to get
Yeah.
back with this X and Y.
If you've got the first gym badge, you can use cut outside of battle.
Yeah.
I see. I was going to suggest like finding the ones that we know are going to be on the top 10 first, and then going from there. Like I think
Mononoke.
we could say like
Yeah.
all the
Pokemon
Ghibli
Heroes.
movies we mentioned are going to be there.
Yeah, but I mean,
I'm
you
trying
can
real
get
hard.
rid of
I
Trigun, I
know.
think, Vampire Hunter D.
Yep. We can get rid of those. Get rid
I'll
of
make
Ji-
an exception.
The
Get rid of
D.
Paprika, but if you get rid of Paprika, you're getting rid of Haruhi.
Well, I'll fight you on that because I want Haruhi to be on this list. Even if it's number 10, I'll take
The
number
D.
10, but I want it to be on this list because it deserves
Oh.
it.
Over Millennium Actress.
Well, I didn't say that. You were just talking about eliminating Paprika, not Millennium Actress.
No, that's my deal. I'll sacrifice my
Okay,
pawn.
hold on. We'll go into this a little bit more. All right,
Time
so
to-
we've eliminated Trigun and Vampire Hunter. I think we can eliminate.
Don't drink and duel.
We can eliminate Jinro. I think. Eliminate Ava 2.0 since you said you didn't want that.
Nah.
Let's see. I'm looking at Serve the Stranger and Ninja Scroll here. For me,
Sword.
yeah, I know Jeremy's not here to defend Ninja Scroll because he loves it, and I like Ninja Scroll a lot too. But Serve the Stranger had better action in my opinion and bit more character depth.
Yes, no name. Did
You guys saw Sword of the Stranger,
Both?
right?
I haven't seen Ninja Scroll though, so I can
No.
only speak for
I think
one.
we watched in your room. And remember, it was the one with the dog and the little kid and the samurai who's trying to protect them. but
Oh,
won't
that's
kill
right. Yeah, I
people.
don't know why I didn't remember that.
Yeah. So I think
Yeah,
we
I
can
would-
eliminate Ninja Scroll. Let's see. What do we have here now? What else could we eliminate?
Green eggs and ham.
We're getting into the tougher stuff. So now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we've got 14 now, so we need to eliminate 4. I'd eliminate Perfect Blue because
Yep.
I prefer Millennium Actress to that one.
This is like a debate between me and you, Alex. I hate it.
Well, you
I'm
guys are free
sorry.
to speak up if you like.
Well, they don't have any input. That's the problem.
I mean, yeah, because I don't
You haven't
I don't
seen a
know
lot
know
of
some of
these.
you.
Okay.
I'm so ashamed.
We're so disappointed in you guys.
Cry.
All right.
Go back to your Pokemons.
I will.
Okay,
I
so
promise.
the ones that I want to be on this list, I know you don't want to be on this list, are Disappearance, Akira.
No. Akira can go on.
Well, that's one I'm willing to give up.
Oh,
I'm
so
saying.
it doesn't
I'm willing
matter.
to give up Akira. I could give up The Girl Who Leapt Through Time.
Yeah, that's good.
I could give up Sort of the Stranger, and
Not that one.
that's pretty much it.
Oh dear.
Oh, and well, we also have Trust and Betrayal, but I know you're gonna want that on there.
We've
So
all got to make sacrifice. Wait, what happened to Redline?
Redline's still on here.
Okay, good. Redline's still got.
And Redline, I don't know. It's
Redline's-
interesting because between Redline and Akira, they're both sort of considered to be these visual masterpieces that sort of lack plot. While Redline is just absolutely no plot and just flat
If
out
Mark
craziness.
were here, he'd be defending Redline. I know he would.
Yeah.
Well, okay, let's form the top of the list.
If anything, I definitely want Summer Wars to be in the top 10.
Oh yeah, no, Summer
Yeah,
Wars
I
is
do
up
too.
there for sure. I mean, we have 2 Mamoru Hosoda films on here right now: Summer Wars and Girl Who Leapt Through Time.
I would not
And
go-
I really like Girl Who Leapt Through Time, but I like Summer Wars better for sure. So Summer Wars is definitely on there.
Totes.
Okay, so right now I guess the ones we definitely know are on the list: Princess Mononoke, Castle in the Sky, Castle of Cagliostro, Nausicaa, Cowboy Bebop, Summer
How do you
Wars.
want to do that order? Obviously, I think Princess Mononoke is going to be our number one.
Number 1.
Yeah.
So let's put a number one by.
All right,
Mononoke.
fine. Number 1 by Mononoke. I'm certainly happy with that. Yeah, and I think we can. So right now we've got for what's definitely in the top 10. We've got Summer Wars, Bebop, Nausicaa. That's 3. Castle in the Sky, Castle of Cagliostro, Princess Mononoke. I think we could probably throw a Millennium Actress in there as a number 7, because
So we already have 6, so yeah, put Millennium. I'll let
Okay.
it slide.
so that's 7 films right there.
7.
All right,
3 more.
So we've got 3 more spots, and the movies
Sword
we
of the
have
Stranger.
the movies we have left are Red Line, Serve the Stranger, Trust and Betrayal, Girl Who Leapt Through Time, Akira, and The Disappearance.
I think you have your first 3 right there.
Sword of the Stranger.
Well,
Yeah.
Sword of the Strange.
Er.
really? Well, see, the Sword of the Stranger is one I'd be willing to live without because I enjoyed it as a film. Like, I liked the action, I got into the characters, but it didn't have a whole lot of character depth. You know, I mean, it had a little bit
At the
with
same-
his
had
whole.
a cute dog.
with
And-
That's
Thank
all you
Clara.
need. Top 10.
that's all you
No,
need.
my
The
problem
dog
with
is pretty
Haruhi
awesome.
is you have to know the series. Unless you know the series, you're not going to get
No,
into it.
but
And
as
That's
But
why
as-
I like the Bebop movie because
Right,
I
and,
didn't
and
know
that
the
is
series.
and that is something I do love about the Bebop movie. But at the same time, I don't think there's anything terrible about not having seen.
it's almost like saying for example, let's say End of Ava was really good. Obviously, it's not, but it's like almost saying, "Oh, End of Ava was this great movie, but you have to watch the TV series first before you understand this." And the TV series, like you've said, it's okay. It's not the greatest thing out there.
But what you're wrong about though is that you don't need to have watched the TV series. All you really need to know is the main idea of the plot, which is that most people in anime, even if they've not seen Haruhi, they know what the main plot is. Haruhi is basically this god who doesn't know that she's a god.
Not everyone knows this. The point is, if you're looking at a movie standpoint of critically, you have to know what this series is about. It's not, let me put it in. It doesn't demonstrate what the film can do. You have to be supplied with information first to go, oh, okay, now let me watch the film.
Well, but you could say the same thing about Rurouni Kenshin Trust and Betrayal.
You can act as a standalone, though.
It could, but you lose a lot, of
You
the
lose,
meaning of what comes
after it.
And basically the contrast between Kenshin then and Kenshin later on. That's a big part of the movie.
Yeah, but like I said, it's like the Greek tragedy. It's that whole...
Well, but also you haven't actually seen the Disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya movie. Keon does talk about how he's, he goes to school with aliens, time travelers, and espers, and they do sort of,
I know, I only
intro it.
saw
So
the
it's not
first
like
3 or 4
I get the
minutes, but the
I get the feeling if someone saw it, and they hadn't seen the TV show, they'd be a bit confused, but they wouldn't be completely lost. It's not so dependent on the
something
TV
you
show.
want to watch. I mean, that's my point. Unless you know what the series is, unless this...
But if it's a great movie, which I'm arguing that it is, then who cares if you've seen the TV show or not?
If you
Just
can still
watch the
kind
movie.
of get into it.
Exactly, and what I'm laying out here is that you don't need to have watched the TV show. You could go on Wikipedia and read the summary. Haruhi is a god who doesn't understand that she's a god. Kion's completely normal, and you've got these 3 other people who are aliens, time travelers, and espers, and they're all sort of going through him and trying to get to Haruhi, and they're trying not to make her bored. If you understand that, then most everything in the show makes sense. There's one bit where they travel through time, and that's referencing an earlier episode. But even I hadn't seen the 2nd season of Haruhi when I watched the movie, so I was a little bit confused by that.
Yeah,
but
no one wants to watch that 2nd season.
But it still
eight.
it still worked though. I was able to think. He even says like I went back in time before and met with Mikuru Asahina here.
I know, but I
and
don't
blah
want to
blah
be
blah.
told that. I want to be able to watch a film and say, I am basing this on what I just saw, not on previous extents of, oh, we went on these adventures, oh, we went on this. I've looked on the internet, I realize it's this great thing, but if you have to have a tie-in, that's my problem. And I guess if I'm gonna kill this, if I'm gonna state this, and if I'm gonna have to say that, then yeah, I'm kind of stabbing the sword, like you said, I'm committing a double suicide with killing Haruhi and Trust and Betrayal. As much as I love Trust and Betrayal,
Even though that's your number one film,
that is my number one film.
willing to
But
kill-
I do not want Haruhi. on
Jeez, so
here.
you want to kill Haruhi that much, so you're willing to sacrifice your number one film.
I would sacrifice my number
Dang.
one. I just.
All right, Kaiba.
All right, but well,
I mean,
let me just say this one thing. Like I said, you
the
keep
fact
saying
that we're
you-
having this debate is a good proof that this is a
Well,
good
and
film.
I admit it is a fault of the film. Unlike the Cowboy Bebop movie, which you can watch without having seen the show, like Clara and Gretchen did. You can watch it and not understand the TV show and get it perfectly, and that's one of the nice things about it. Disappearance isn't quite like that. But what I'm saying is you don't have to have seen the whole TV show to understand it. You only need to know the main focus, like something that you'd get within episode 1 or 2, you know. So it doesn't require a whole series worth of stuff. You just need to know the basics about the show.
Restate
and
our
then it
top
makes
7
sense.
real quick.
Okay, the top 7 right now is Princess Mononoke, Castle of Cagliostro, Castle in the Sky, Nausicaa, Cowboy Bebop. That's what, 5. Summer Wars and Millennium Actress. That's what we have up there right now.
Okay, if we did Trust and Betrayal, that would be 8. Let's say Haruhi is 10.
Fine, I'll say that.
Let's say Haruhi is 10. What would go in 9?
10. Haruhi. All right, so then for 9, we've got, will Trust and Betrayal be 9 and this be number 8? It depends. What we've got left is Akira, The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, Red Line, and Serve the Stranger. Of those,
I would put Sword.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd go with
Sword,
that.
Trust and Betrayal, then Haruhi.
Sword, it's not my favorite movie. It's not something I would usually watch, but I would still say it's a good movie, just not my personal favorite. Yeah.
I mean,
The doggy.
The doggy.
It's all that matters.
it's all that matters to Clara.
Yeah.
Okay,
Put
very
a
good.
dog in it.
So,
it's magical.
fine. So at
What human life?
the number 10, we've got The Disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya. Number 9, we've got Serve the Stranger. Number 8, we've got Trust and Betrayal. Samurai X, Rurouni Kenshin, or whatever subtitle you want to add on to that.
Adventures of Alex in Wonderland.
Okay, so then what do we want at number 7? We've got some stuff like Millennium Actress, Summer Wars, Bebop.
Oh, but Bebop has not been put on the list yet?
No, Bebop is on the list. I'm saying...
order.
Yeah, what should we put down at number 7?
Okay, 1.
I'd say Summer Wars.
I like Summer Wars.
Summer Wars could be 7.
Because it's good, but it's not, like,
Well,
higher than 5.
But
It's-
would you rank Nausicaa above Summer Wars, though? I'd probably put Nausicaa at
I would
like
put-
7 and then Summer Wars at 6.
I would still put Nausicaa a bump above
Summer
Summer
Wars?
Wars. Just a bump,
think I
not
would
like
too.
2.
Okay.
But like a bump, just because
Fine.
it's...
So 7
It
is
is an
Summer
old
Wars.
series, but old film, but it's still, there's a reason why that was the first film Disney put out on Blu-ray here.
And Summer Wars, there are just some things where you, like, they did something and you're like, why didn't they do this instead? Or
Good thing
there's
Jeremy's
like
not
annoying-
here. He would be tearing that thing
The
up.
I remember
annoying
that.
female characters.
What?
No. Oh, right.
The-
you complained about the older
It's like-
women.
Oh, the fate of the world is resting on this kid that my niece brought home and our black sheep.
Or the stupid cop. When
Yeah,
he
the
takes all the ice out.
Oh yeah, that idiot. Oh, don't even get me started on that guy. But it's just like they're like, oh, we need to prepare this dinner because we're all not just gonna die. And then they realize, oh wait,
Wait, we
we
are.
are gonna
Yeah.
die. And we've
Also-
been wasting our time for the past 2 hours. Awesome.
that's what I'm saying. There's little things where
Okay,
could've-
I'll
could've
concede
been a
that.
little bit better.
Also, Matt, talking to your microphone, please. You need to get close to
Okay.
it. Thank you. Okay, so we've got our bottom 5 right now, so we need to decide on our top 5. So we already said Princess Mononoke is number 1.
1.
What do we want to be number 2 then? We've got Castle of Cagliostro, Castle in the Sky, Cowboy Bebop, and Millennium Actress.
I would be cool with Bebop, Cagley. I don't know.
I like Cagley.
I'd say Bebop. I'd go for Bebop over Castle of Cagliostro.
Fine.
Fine.
All right.
But Cagley's got to be
3 for sure.
I like how it's now Cagley.
Cagley. I couldn't say it, but I couldn't
Wait,
grasp how you would say that. I'm like, how the
Till they say it in the film, you can't pronounce it.
yeah, and I'm just
How's
like,
it
what are you
spelled?
saying? Cagliostro.
Cagliostro.
Yeah, Cagliostro. Okay, so I personally would go for Castle in the Sky at number 3, Castle of Cagliostro at number 4.
What?
But that's just me. I thought you loved Castle in the
I
Sky.
do like Castle in the Sky, but if I had, like I said, top 3 Ghibli films,
Right.
Castle in the Sky is on it, but
Yeah. See, I'd say Castle in the Sky. We've got Mononoke Bebop. Then I'd say Castle in the Sky, Castle of
Here it
Cagliostro,
is.
then Millennium Actress.
oh wait, here we go. It's Castle of Cagliostro is 2 places higher than Laputa.
On your little list of
Yeah,
animals.
Laputa's 5th on my list.
Interesting. All right, fine. So Cagliostro at 3, Castle in the Sky at 4, and then Millennium Actress at number 5.
Yay!
I think we're done.
Sounds like it.
Wow, and it didn't take the
Nice.
full 2 hours like last time.
Yeah, well, that's because last time we all went around and, gave our in-depths on the shows we really wanted to push for, but I thought...
This is my favorite anime.
But I actually thought this worked pretty well as well.
Ninjas.
We all had Mononoke, so that kind of makes it easier, and Bebop.
Yeah. I'm surprised the love for Cagliostro, to be honest. Like, I enjoy that movie quite a bit, but at the same time, I wouldn't rank it in my, top... I didn't have it in my top 3. It was more around, probably my... It was more in my bottom 5 rather than my top 5 for me, personally. But everyone else loved it, to the extreme.
Just like we talked about when we actually did that podcast for it, there's just some elements, like you've seen... Like when he's swimming through the water, when he does the jump over the roof, it's doing these crazy things that you can only do in animation. And you don't see that enough. I don't think you do. I mean...
Is that one of the reasons why you like that?
Did you see the Lupin at Cannes?
Yes.
I loved him. Oh my gosh.
I was just going to say, is that why you also like Space Adventure Cobra? Because it also does some sort of wacky animation-y stuff in it.
Stuff for animation's sake. That's why I love that film. As an animation major, why I love Space Adventure Cobra, like I said, when he was swimming through the fur, it's like, that's just crazy, but you could only do that in animation. Like there's this fur blanket that's on the ground, it's super fluffy, and he's swimming in it, and it's just you could only do that in animation.
Pretty much.
All right, so we have a drum roll for our top 10, please.
Bum, ba-dum, ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-bum, ba-bum.
All right, very nice. At number 10, we have The Disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya. Number 9, Sword of the Stranger. Number 8, Samurai X, Trust and Betrayal. Number 7, Summer Wars. Number 6, Nazca, Valley of the Wind. Number 5, Millennium Actress. Number 4, Castle in the Sky. Number 3, The Castle of Cagliostro. Lupin the Third, I should add on to that. Number 2 is the Cowboy Bebop movie, and number 1 is Princess Mononoke.
Yay!
So I think by limiting ourselves to only 3 Ghibli films, even though we have 4 Miyazaki films on the list, that helped us get in some non-Ghibli films, that maybe won't normally get consideration. People will probably be mad at us that we didn't have either Akira or Ghost in the Shell, because most people have those on there. Yeah, but Akira, though, a lot of people has that as their number 1, or pretty high up there. So
it is high up there.
But
you know what? Eat it.
I wanted Disappearance, and I got it, so I'm happy.
Yeah. Red line.
Hey, go watch the movie, then come back and talk to me, all right? Mister, I've seen 3 minutes of it.
I know. I enjoyed those first 3 minutes of Crispin Freeman's sexy voice.
He does have a sexy voice.
It's Crispin Freeman or Stephen J. Blum. It's really hard to pick between those two.
As far as your favorite?
Yeah, they're really both good. I mean, I have to say Stephen Blum just because gotta love Blum. Gotta love the old Tom.
Well, I love Crispin Freeman for Keone, but really what he does great at is Alucard. His voice as Alucard is one of my all-time favorites.
He actually does. I'm playing through the Black Mesa game, which is the Half-Life 1 game redone, just with the graphics of Half-Life 2, so it doesn't look like a piece of crap. One of the nice things of just replaying that game, all the soldiers that you have to fight, it's Crispin Freeman's voice, and it's just I'm killing you, Crispin Freeman, die!
But
So you enjoy killing Crispin Freeman?
I just love killing the people who have his voice, because his voice is just...
On the topic of Half-Life, which is connected to Valve, when I was at Con, the guy working at Subway was talking to me because I had my Portal shirt on. He's like, "Oh, do you think they're going to make Half-Life 3?" I'm like, "Gabe, that doesn't work in 3s. Valve doesn't work in 3s."
Oh, but I have a theory for that. I know this is a little off topic, but here's the thing. The Source engine they use right now, all of their games have stopped at it. When you get these new consoles, when you get these machines to a higher level, when they can make the next, Source engine.
But I think that they're going to skip the whole number 3 in general. I think that would be just
So you think
hysterical.
it's just going to go to Half-Life 4?
Yeah. I mean, I can see it.
I don't think they would do that.
The thing is, they have never made a 3.
They've never done it, but wouldn't it make sense, the Source engine, if they're waiting for that new Source engine to be what it is, and then they can make the third
I don't know. It does seem strange to me.
Maybe, but-
I could definitely see them skipping Half-Life 2 Episode 3 and just doing Half-Life 3. 'Cause
Yeah.
at this point, it's been so long.
But like I even with like Portal, I think they ended Portal in a pretty well.
Have you played the multiplayer campaign with that?
Nah.
Oh, you'll be a little disappointed what they do with that.
Oh man.
Why, is there like story components to the multiplayer?
Your
A
little
little bit.
robots.
Oh yeah, the robots. But basically, what you do is, you know how there's the whole like underlayer of Aperture, the old foundations
Yeah,
of it.
old of it. Yeah.
Little
Where you
spo-
get to hear Gabe Johnson.
Yes. Well, in the little spoiler alert, but when you're doing the campaign mode with another person, you go back down to that area, and you go to this area, this old vault that's been sealed up, and there's all these humans that have been in cryostasis. And basically, the ending credits of it is, oh, Gladys is pulling them out and sending them up to the, going up to the regular place, because it's like, oh, we can resume testing again. Great job, you have found more humans. And
Yeah,
just
but
kinda-
it's like
I don't-
Cels not there unless they go back and make her like free them all. But even then, she's mute and has a mild case of severe brain damage.
yeah.
So I mean, I think it's like
I don't know. I didn't like. I liked how everyone died. All the test subjects were dead. There's no
Jeez.
more.
Sounds so brutal.
You really are a dark individual.
Thank
aren't
I
you?
wonder what they got the medal for. It wasn't being immune to neurotoxins. Oh, GLaDOS.
I love GLaDOS so much.
Oh, I love her.
She's actually the person who plays her voice actor is actually going to be in a new film that comes out this
Oh
summer.
yeah.
Did you know she's married to the guy who voices the sniper in Team Fortress 2?
Oh really?
Isn't that adorable?
That's cool.
That is cool. All right. Well, it sounds like we've got our top 10 list. We had to sacrifice a few shows, a few movies along the way, but in the end, I'm pretty satisfied with what we got.
satisfying.
I didn't get my Pokemon.
Sorry, Clara.
It's okay.
I mean, I'd
Hey,
let.
we gotta have a movie night for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be willing to do that, but
In my room.
I let Kenny have Dragon Ball Z on the top 10 TV shows podcast, and that's the one thing that makes me mad about that one.
He regrets it. Alex, the one decision Alex has regretted his whole life is that Dragon
It's the
Ball.
only thing
It ruined his rep.
What was number 2 again?
on this list.
No, on the anime one.
Well, we had Gurren Lagann at number 1,
Bebop?
and Bebop was 2, I
Okay.
think. Yeah.
Bebop's is dominating.
Dominating.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Actually, it's got
Oh, it's
number
on-
2 on movies and number 2 on TV shows.
Woot.
Nice.
There you go.
Says something.
Yes, indeed. So, for those of you who enjoyed this podcast today, you can email us at techheads@avwproductions.com. You can follow us on Twitter at techheadsou. You can like us on Facebook. You can subscribe to us on YouTube. We're AVW Media. That's where all of our videos go up. You can also subscribe to us on iTunes. Give us some good ratings, reviews. Send us some
Please.
emails like Abby did. Tell us how cool we are. Or if you disagree with our list, let us know. I'd be
Give you
interested to hear some
shout-outs.
feedback. My Twitter is at Darth Schmitz. Matt, do you still not have a Twitter?
Nope.
Clara?
Mine's Clara Lillian.
And Gretchen?
Nope.
Nope.
Yay. The resistance still wins.
I still don't have a Facebook, so there.
That's the ultimate.
You're the only person in the
resistance.
world who doesn't have a Facebook.
That's a lie.
No, there's more. There was one person working in our media project who did not have a Facebook. And he's like a junior.
I see. Well, I will say, Clara, sometimes I post Cels things, and it's like, well, I want to post Clara and tag her in this, but she's not on Facebook.
Get a Facebook.
But so you just...
Hey, I would admit, when I get out of college, I might get rid of my Facebook. I have no need for it other than to stay communicated with my groups.
Well, why isn't that the whole point of Facebook, so you can stay connected with your college friends after you leave?
I guess so. Darn, they're going to make me keep it, Clara.
You can do that with telephones, though.
Telephones.
On my telephone.
That's too much work.
Nobody calls them cell phones anymore. Everyone calls them telephones.
Smartphones. I don't have one.
I don't either.
I have what we call here a crap phone.
I thought it was called a dumb phone.
These phones only do texting and
used to have that
talking
one.
services. They
Wait.
do not offer these interwebs. And
You do like your southern
games.
accent, don't you?
Does that mean I can talk like this?
Well, that's not an
Sure.
accent, that's a voice.
Yeah,
So
but still.
you're allowed.
Yay.
Yay. All right, so I guess we should probably close out this podcast before we ramble on more about Portal or cell phones or anything like
Pokemon.
that.
Pokemon.
We've already sang all the Pokemon songs.
Oh, have you now?
Well, we've sang 2.
Two.
Yes.
There's
The-
multiple.
the
we
Ho-
can just pull the obscure,
The
terrible...
Hoenn theme that plays in Heroes is one of my favorites.
Well, then we will have to sing it.
Yeah, we may have to do that. Oh, and one
Oh,
thing I
Raging
forgot to
Rocks.
mention, usually we talk about the anime we're going to watch for next time. In this case, if you listen to last week's podcast, it's going to be the show Psychopaths that Matt and I mentioned earlier, and Gretchen as well. So we'll be, by next Thursday, I'll be up to episode 19 of 22. So the plan is we watch up to that. We can speculate about what's going to come later.
Do some Korra stuff. Like we did last year.
Well, like Korra, as in we talk about the episodes as they go, although we'll be missing a week to summer break, or spring break. Not
Summer break this early? Man!
I wish.
It came fast.
So, yep.
Well, this semester has gone by really fast.
Oh my god, I know.
That's true. Well, we're not quite at the halfway point.
Next week is week 7.
Yeah.
But we're halfway there.
No. So, look forward to the Psychopaths episode for next week, and this has been Shred Cels. Thank all you guys very much for listening to this podcast, and we'll see you next week.
The cow goes moo because he loves anime.
Kiss.
This product is copyright AVW Productions 2012.